Welcome to a theme mountain video tutorial. This is part one of rows and section blocks, and in this tutorial I'm just going to show you a quick overview of section blocks and spacing. I've already switched to the Visual Composer here and set up 3 section blocks with some text just for illustrative purposes, and I can show you what this looks like in the front end here. So here we have 3 section blocks that are evenly spaced out. They have a top padding and a bottom padding. The top padding is set to 110 pixels by default, the bottom padding to 80, and the content within have a bottom margin of 30 pixels. Now, we can modify the top and bottom padding of almost any of the pre-built sections by simply modifying the top and bottom padding of the row. And so I'm just going to show you how to do this. So we modify the section block, we go to spacing, and under spacing we have clear all padding, padding top, and padding bottom. So I'm just going to show you how reducing the padding reduces the spacing between the different section blocks. So I'm going to do this for each one of them here. So as you can see, I'm setting the top padding for the middle one to 60 and the bottom to 30, again because of the bottom margin of inner elements. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it for this one as well. There we go. And now we have reduced the space between the section blocks. And so this is how you can reduce or increase the spacing in your layout for all of the pre-built section blocks, with some exceptions, of course. Now, you can also nest section blocks, and this is something that we do in the one-page layouts, where you might have one wrapping section block, and then you have multiple section blocks inside to create the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. So I have a nested section block here, and note that we only allow for one level of nesting, but that's really all that you need. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert a text block here as an example. And as we can see now, if we save this, is that the padding will stack up inside the section block, of course. So we can either clear it or reduce it depending on the layout that we're building. If we want to clear it, we can simply modify the nested section block, go to spacing, and hit clear all padding. And this becomes useful if we're creating a layout with, let's say, multiple text sections, dividers, and so forth. I suggest you try this out and you play around with it, but this is essentially how every element is spaced out in our layout. And that's all for this tutorial.